Argentina, Luis, are through to the quarterfinals. Is this a team that keeps going further, that can get all the way to the final, or is it okay that they're going to do this and they can live by the skin of their teeth in certain games?
Yeah, really good question. Okay, hi everybody, ESPN FC Daily here. Listen, it was a tough match to decipher in many ways, because obviously, well done to Argentina, as you said, make it to the quarterfinals. And you mentioned, of course, the Netherlands matchup. Obviously, we remember that ridiculous Bergkamp goal in '98, but also the last time they faced each other in the knockout stages was 2014 in the semifinals, and Argentina won on penalty. So there's some history. But in this match, per se, I wasn't super impressed with Argentina. It was more of a heroic stance from Australia. It took a Lionel Messi opener, of course, his 789th goal. Okay, Mari, that's pretty unbelievable. But I wasn't super impressed with them. And I think you said it pretty well in your question there. They're getting through. They're getting on with it. But I tell you what, the Netherlands are going to prove to be a tricky encounter. And if they go beyond that, it becomes even tougher. So, but well done to Argentina, and heroic stuff from Australia. Nobody saw you going this far, and you at least made it interesting.
I know, I felt bad for the Socceroos, but it was a great display from them. We'll get more on that in a minute. Let's bring Jules and Sebi in, shall we? Because I'd love to just talk a bit further about this Argentina side, obviously progressing to the quarterfinals. A lot of talk from the likes of Rodrigo de Paul saying that game against Saudi Arabia actually kick-started them to change their mentality and everything. Hi, guys. Hello, Jules. Hello, Sebi. Listen, let's start with Messi's goal then that changed things up, because, Jules, it had been very slow tempo from Argentina, and then bang, Messi hits.
Yeah, I think it's the first time he touched the ball in the box. It was it started with a throw-in, and then it was a free kick. That's why Otamendi is still up in the box, and it's him. It's his bad first touch that actually gives the assist to Messi on his goal. And let me say, 789 on his 1000th career game, which is incredible when you look at the ratio of goals scored per game played. But it had to come from him because he was slow. You're right. It was, I thought, very average from Argentina for most of the game, not just in the first half. Even after they scored the first goal, I mean, when your own manager change a attacking player in Papu Gomez for a central back like Lisandro Martinez to go 5 at the back against Australia, for me, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I'm not too happy with Argentina's performance, and I think Australia are a bad team. So I was a bit surprised, to be fair.
Sebi, do you feel the same? I mean, I share the sentiments of Jules. I mean, Argentina are obviously such a force, and it's great to see Lionel Scaloni in its first World Cup managing. Of course, we got to remember that. And they have improved a little bit step by step, but it wasn't like this remarkable, overwhelming performance. What did you make of it?
Yeah, we keep talking about, what is it, 789 for Messi. Let's not gloss over the fact it's his first knockout round goal in a World Cup. I think that's crazy to consider for a player of his status. I mean, we got a chance to see this Argentina squad quite a bit in the group phase. You know, we were very focused on Mexico's group, and specifically the Argentina-Mexico showdown. And in that game, it's a moment of magic from Messi that gets Argentina over the line. You go back to the Saudi Arabia game. He's the only one that scores, albeit from the penalty spot. I just really wonder who the difference makers in attack are for this Argentina side if it's not Messi. Like you saw in the second half, he is playing his absolute best. He is fired up. He is taking people on. Shades of the old Messi, not as quick, not as fast. But outside of him, who's really going to do the difference? And I know Jules says Australia's a bad team. I think probably if we're looking at them of the 16 teams that are left, that's a totally fair assessment. But are we really surprised that Argentina didn't look convincing? Because I go back to the group phase, I don't really think that they've been all that convincing. And Jules, we're watching it here. We got the ESPN Argentina folks, 10 feet away from us. At the end of this game, there's real tension and frustration. So I think they're sensing that there's a problem building with this team. And the reality is they got a great matchup for the round of 16. Nobody, as Jules said, thought Australia was going to be here. They're going to be tested in the next round. And I think if the performance is similar, not just to what we saw today, but to the last 3 games before that, I think that quarterfinal against the Dutch is going to be a real problem for this Argentina squad.
So the Argentine journalists are worried then, Sebi?
They were tense.
I mean, look, yeah, they were tense at the end. I mean, once the goal goes in, and I mean, look, it's a save in 30 seconds left of stoppage time from Dibu Martinez. A pretty good save. He makes himself really big there. to keep that second one out. Australia had a sweat in this game. They had a chance late, which from the Socceroos perspective is I think all you would have wanted. And from an Argentina perspective, at 2-0, the game looked done and dusted. Like Australia had literally done nothing. I think 2 minutes before the goal, I was thinking like, there's no chance. There's no chance. They say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer. No chance here. And then the deflection goes in, and suddenly Argentina seemed to not lose control of the game because they certainly had chances for a third. But the game opened up, and I think what we saw from this Argentina squad is when they're in control of the game, they can be very solid defensively. But I think they struggle to maintain control of games at sometimes. And when it opens up, you see some of the what I would describe as individual deficiencies in this Argentina defense. And I think a team like Netherlands, which we saw today against the United States, really be clinical and take advantage of those opportunities. If Argentina allows those opportunities against a better side than Australia, like I said, I just believe it's going to be trouble for them. I have them getting, into the semis, but when they get to that real elite level, I think there's a significant drop from, for me, the top two teams in this tournament, France, Brazil, and then Argentina. I've never really seen them as a true tournament favorite. I think a lot of the hype around this team is people wanting Messi to win a World Cup, but people wanting Messi to win a World Cup is not going to beat Brazil.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.